In the age when humanity was still a fledgling player on the galactic stage, unknown forces began to stir in the void between stars. Ancient beings whispered through dimensions, and a dark hunger awoke from its long slumber. At the heart of this unfolding cosmic struggle, one ship and its crew would alter the fate of the galaxy itself, and perhaps all of existence. The USS Meridian, one to celebrate explorer vessel, vanished into an uncharted anomaly 15 years ago. Its disappearance was a mystery, whispered among command rooms and star maps as a ghost story. But now it had returned, and it was no longer just a ship. Its hull shimmered with impossible geometries, as if existing in multiple realities at once. The crew changed, their eyes holding the reflection of stars that no telescope had ever seen. Admiral Lisa Carter stood on the observation deck of Luna Command Station, watching as the Meridian approached. Captain Jake Morrison appeared beside her, his once dark hair now silver, flowing like liquid metal, eyes shimmering with galaxies. He spoke in tones layered with harmonics that calmed those who heard him. "We've seen what lies beyond, Lisa, and they're coming." A high council convened. Holograms flickered to life, revealing leaders of the Corvani Empire, Vorthan Confederacy, and the Galactic Federation. They demanded answers. Jake began to recount what happened. It wasn't a mere spatial anomaly they'd crossed into. It was a dimensional barrier. Beyond it waited the Primarchs, beings of pure light who existed across multiple dimensions. They had once been physical, ancient architects of a peaceful galactic civilization until the Devourers came, massive, living warships of sentient darkness that consumed stars and entire civilizations. The Primarchs retreated into the spaces between realities, searching for a species with consciousness adaptable enough to learn the ancient ways of dimensional harmony. That species was humanity. The Devourers were not conquerors, but parasites. They fed on conflict, on destruction, growing stronger with every war fought against them. Traditional weapons only empowered them. The Primarchs taught the Meridian's crew to see the universe not as matter and energy, but as layered thought and interconnected consciousness. 12 long years passed in those hidden dimensions as humans learned to transcend physicality, bending reality with focused thought, phasing through solid objects and pulling knowledge from the vacuum of space. Consciousness isn't a passenger, Jake explained. It's the engine of reality itself. But there was a darker revelation. The approach of the Devourers triggered latent evolutionary leaps in every species they threatened, a universal defense mechanism. Most, however, were destroyed before the transformation could complete. Humanity's mission was no longer survival. It was to accelerate this awakening in others before it was too late. The Meridian returned, bearing not only transcendent humans but refugees. Other species already starting to evolve under the existential threat. A new alliance formed. Training centers known as the Deep Dark Sanctums were established in subdimensional space. Here, willing beings from countless species began consciousness expansion training. Resistance emerged too, the Hegemony Coalition, convinced this was a human ploy for galactic control. But their weapons passed harmlessly through ships existing in multiple planes. As months passed, transformations accelerated. The Corvani Empire converted research facilities into sanctums. The Vorthan Confederacy disbanded its military when its warriors discovered that beings who understood higher reality had no need for weapons. Even Devourer scout ships began to arrive, vast vessels of living darkness stripping moons and worlds. Yet, instead of battles, transcendent teams made contact, showing these ancient machines what they once were. For the first time in recorded history, a Devourer ship in the Ander system halted its destruction and began to heal the worlds it had consumed. And then others followed. But there was one truth the Primarchs had not revealed. Amy Brooks, now a being of semi-transparent light, uncovered it during a dimensional communion. The Devourers were not ancient invaders. They were former Primarchs, those who had rejected ascension millennia ago, believing dominance and consumption were the true path. The final war between the Primarch factions had devastated galaxies. Rather than risk the annihilation of all realities, the victors stripped their rogue kin of higher consciousness, reducing them to base hunger, imprisoning them in self-sustaining warships of flesh and metal. Now, the Devourers' return was not a cosmic accident, but a consequence of neglected karma. The Primarchs needed humanity not just to stop the Devourers, but to redeem them. We weren't their chosen students, Jake realized. We were their atonement. Humanity was to become architects of infinity, caretakers of balance, tasked with teaching others how to exist without domination. As the Devourer main fleet arrived, it did not find a galaxy at war. It found a unified, transcendent civilization ready to heal. One by one, dark ships remembered their original nature. The final battle was not fought with weapons, but with mass consciousness convergence. Millions of awakened minds connecting across realities, showing the Devourers what they once were. It worked. The galaxy entered the age of consciousness. Wars ended overnight. Species thought extinct were reborn by converted Devourer vessels. The Primarchs passed on, leaving the future in the hands of their new students. Lisa Carter became Galactic Coordinator. Earth transformed into a sanctuary for consciousness awakening. And as a final revelation, a message arrived from a neighboring galaxy, one facing its own Devourer crisis. This time, humanity would be the teacher. In the end, the universe was not saved by war or technology, but by the simplest, most powerful force of all, understanding. And those once seen as newcomers became the architects of a reality shaped not by conquest, but by compassion.